said earlier, this is not something that just happened. This has been going on for decades. Decades. Our rights, our freedoms, and our liberties have been taken away for decades. Has nothing to do with who's president. The only fact is Trump exposed more than anybody else and fired people up and gave them information and exposed how deep and how bad our federal government is. We got a Texas bill right now. Let's talk about today and get the bill passed through the legislature so you can vote. Yeah. That's all we're talking about. Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again?
Would the nation of Texas use the U.S. Constitution to govern Texas?
I don't know, we'll put you on the committee, okay, and you can help answer that question. I mean, you know what we're going to do. We're going to know who was for this bill, we're going to know who signed on, and we're going to know who was against it. And when it comes time to vote next time, we'll start putting the right people in, because we have something to gauge it on, and then we'll be talking about, of course, what our new government will be, because in the bill, we're going to have to set up new agencies, we have to new government, we have to do all those things. And you know darn well that you people are not going to let it slide this time, that we don't follow a godly, moral, virtuous Constitution. And a Texas Constitution. Yes, sir, right there.
Regardless if we use Dominion, everybody should realize we use the same software in ES&S computers as Dominion does, which means they can cheat just the same way.
They cheat no matter what. So we're not here to talk about cheating because we know they cheat, okay? We have got to do something in the Texas legislature this session for election integrity, and that's where we're going to work on it, and that's where you start bringing your grievances to the Texas legislature, to the committee headed by Representative Briscoe King. Yes, ma'am.
My question is, if this was to go forward, I know many of us have strong feelings about how Abbott has handled a lot of the situations here going forward from the pandemic on. What would he be considered the leader then going forward if we were to be...
We have elections every 4 years for governor, we have elections every 2 years for representatives. If this goes through, there'll be elections, and I just said, you'll know who was in favor and who isn't. The line will be drawn, and then the people will then vote. If the people vote to have this plan done, you better doggone believe they're going to have, when they vote, they're going to make sure they get the people in there, they're going to follow this plan. So that's how we'll work. Back there, yes. No, all the way back, first.
Okay, your bill that you're talking about, what's the status? It's in committee, out of committee, and when it's going to be voted on?
Hold on, I don't have a crystal ball, I'll tell you right now, but we just got committees this week. When we head back to the Capitol on Tuesday, we're going to be fighting. We need you guys to start right now.
Okay, who's going to assign your bill to which committee?
You know who decides on the bills. Speaker of the House.
Okay,
I'm going to tell you, you can't answer that question. It's all up to the Speaker, then whatever committee he sends it to, and then if that committee chair wants to hear the bill, that's just how things work. So we need all the people to put all the pressure they can on.
Well, what's his position? Is he kind of in favor of this, not? Or, I mean,
I don't know, why don't you give him a call and let me know. Because he doesn't want to talk to me, I'll tell you right now. I'm sorry. He doesn't want to talk to me. You guys need to give him a call. He said he's going to let the House run itself. He's going to call balls and strikes. Well, let's see what kind of an umpire he is. Yes.
So last legislative session, we had the #1 legislative priority, which was to make abortion illegal in Texas, and the rhinos put Jeff Leach in there.
Wait, just give me the question.
Okay, so what are we going to do when a guy like Jeff Leach just won't let it pass?
Well, I don't know. Ask God. I don't know what to tell you. Come on, we don't need those kind of questions. We're here to get moving on things, and you know what to do. Talk to your legislators. Get involved. Okay, that's what we need to have. Don't worry. God said you don't worry about tomorrow. Take care of your business today, and that's what we need to do.
I have a valid question.
Yes.
I'm an independent media journalist, and I have been censored on social media across the board, as have many of us who are reporting on things like what happened at the Capitol. I was reporting in an unbiased fashion, and I had content removed. There have been people that have been deplatformed. What can we do? Because I believe social media is our arena for civil discourse, and we're being censored. So
What can we do? TEXIT. TEXIT. It's only begun. Censorship has only begun. I mean, every day we hear about something new coming after anybody that supported President Trump. And certainly anybody that went to the Capitol. You know? So this is only the beginning. That's why when I announced this bill 2 months ago, I gave our legislature, I gave them 2 months, and no one contacted me. I guess they didn't think I had the guts to do it. Okay? But I knew 2 months ago, we gotta get this thing out. And we can't rush it. I gave plenty of time. Now, guys, it is time to put the pedal to the metal and let's get this out because our country is going down quicker than you could ever imagine. I'm sorry, what?
let us know, continue letting us know how the media can help you, how the independent media can help you.
I didn't even know there was an independent media, so thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll give you my card. You can contact me. I'll tell you, get me on. Okay, yes.
I think the rest of the country missed us more than we missed now because we have, I think it's 82% of the refining capacity here. But I remember in the 82nd session, 9 years ago, the anti-groping bill, they had a lot of clout. You know, they said if this passes, we're going to shut down the airspace over Texas. So we'd be in a big scramble. I mean, there's things we can't live without, basically, or it'd be very difficult.
I'm not sure what the question is, but I think we better move on. I mean, what do you mean? What do you want to know? What's your question?
Well, the federal government, if they just shut our water off.
Well, if the federal government does this, or if they do that, or whatever, and let's vote and get this thing passed, and then let's go take it, let's just take it to them. I'm serious, we're not here to play what-if games. It's over, guys. How many people are sick and tired of what they're having? Discussion, dialogue, and communication. And we're going to talk about these things in the open because it's too late for us to sit here and have to be in the shadows or in the dark of what's going on in our government. Because we can see it, we feel the results, but we have no say so. So
what committee would you like your bill assigned to?
I would like to assign to my committee, since I'm a chairman. Yeah, I will never be a chairman yet, but I just want a committee that's going to be fair, period, and let the people come and testify.
Well, give us a committee, because there's 200 of us.
You'll find out very soon. As soon as we know, I have no choice, and I have no authority or power of where it goes. You'll find out as soon as I know. Yes.
If we could all call 2 senators to solve them up to co-sponsor your bill, who would those 2 senators be?
Well, there's 31, so I'd call all 31. All 31. Okay? I really don't know, sir, I'm sorry. We got to call them all. And the main thing is when we call them, 2 things. Explain that the bill is not to leave if the vote is taken. Because they're all afraid of that. A lot of people are afraid. As I said at the beginning, just think how scary that would be. Are you voting to leave tomorrow? Yes or no? I wouldn't vote yes to that. Because I don't trust what we got in there right now, right here in Texas. Okay? So let them know it's not a vote, and it says it right in the bill. It is not a vote to leave or secede, which is what the media is going to call every time. It's a secession bill. No, it's not. Tell you the truth, you know what it is? It's a study bill. It's a study bill. But it's got a little more teeth than a study bill. Okay? So that's what it is. It's let the people vote, and then the legislature, state legislature, will then have a year and a half to put a plan together on what that really means. That's what you tell them. And then you have another vote after that. So don't let them worry you that, oh, we can't secede right away. Don't let them tell you you're not American either, because you can tell them what, you can answer that question yourself. You call them. You want to then say, first of all, tell them what the bill is and what it's not. Secondly,
They don't read it.
no, it has nothing to do with can you read. It has to do with, will they read it? How many bills, and I'm the first one to tell you, I don't read a fraction of the bills. Because I can't read 6,000 bills. Okay? Plus, they're boring as hell. That's why I hire staff. I hire staff, and we have a whole bunch of good groups like these guys' staff, and probably a few other staff. And we all read the bills. They all read the bills, and we talk about it. They're not going to read the bills most likely. But the point is, that's why you have to educate them. The bill's very simple. But then you got to ask them, don't ask them if we're going to be supportive. Ask them, are you going to sign on to that bill? Are you going to come off of the bill? Or are you going to put the bill out in the Senate? If their name is not on the bill, it doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter how many excuses they give you. If their John Hancock is not on that bill, you know exactly that they are not in favor of it. Or they don't have the guts to put their name on the bill. Because they want to run for Congress. Who wants to run for Congress in the United States when there's no Texas in the country? I wouldn't. So, they've got to put the name on the bill. It's not, well, let me think about it. Oh, I think it's a good idea. No. If your name is not on the bill, then we will not be voting for you. We'll get everybody we know not to vote for you because it's obvious your name's on the bill and we can prove it. That's it. You don't have to argue with them. It's really simple. Very simple, but most people don't do that.
Over here.
Oh, yes, sir.
The Tarrant County Elections Administrator is a Venezuelan native computer science program who will work for Smartmatic in Panama. He's our current elections administrator. Smartmatic sells election insurance. Is that a problem?
Is there what?
Is any of that a problem? Does that bother anyone?
Hey, I think we need to take that to the committee, and his name is Briscoe Kane, Chairman Kane. Bring that to him and have him look into it. That's a great question. Oh, bring it to our Secretary of State. That's even another option.
This guy over here has his hand raised.
Oh, there you go.
Over here. I think it's understandable that everybody has been lazy and the enemy is well organized. What is the plan to organize our backyard grassroots to allow this thing to proceed with a good volume and a good chance of passing?
So that's what I've been working on for the last couple of months and really strongly the last couple of weeks since the response has been so great. So go to my website, sign the petition, KyleBiedermann.com. Just go there, sign the petition. When you do, then you will have, and give us your email, and then it'd be great if you just email me and say, hey, I'm in favor of the bill, thank you. I want to work, I want to do something, I've got these skills, please put me down. Whatever it might be. We are categorizing every email on what people can and are willing to do. And then we are working on actual tasks that you can do. First of all, you got to contact the legislature to talk about that. Secondly, you got to start writing letters to your, where's our media person? She left, okay. You got to contact your media and put some letters to the editor. I'm tired of getting trashed and nobody's sticking up for me, guys. But I don't care, I can take it. But why are we letting the liberal media have the only voice out there? Come on, write some letters to the media. Let them know how you feel. And then we're also going to be giving you ways on how to write those letters. So, it's hard. I mean, it's hard enough for me just to keep in touch with my own constituents, let alone the state of Texas, and then make sure I get stuff to them. It really takes you all to contact us, Kyle Biedermann, Kyle for Texas.
So we need some organization in this deal, basically.
And that's what we're doing. So, give me some ideas. Okay? We have a lot of people that are smart working. Okay?
Who are those people so we can contact them?
No, you contact me and it goes to all of them. And then they're working on how do we get this army? How do we get this army organized? How do we get it running at full speed so we can get this message out? But I gave you two things already. Write letters, contact your media, and contact your legislators at the Capitol. And then we'll give you more stuff to do after that. All right.
Kyle, let's say it's November the 2nd, 2021, which is election day, and everything is line to this bill that is on the ballot as a referendum? Do you have any polling, any ideas right now today, what kind of legs this thing has?
Well, I'm going to tell you, you don't have to do polling. All you got to do is look at the legislature. Do they want this bill to come out? Then you pretty much know that it's got a good chance to pass. Because they do not want to have to do anything besides the status quo, basically. Plus, I've already been called a clown, already been called un-American, already said the bill is no good, it's really stupid. They're really telling you people, you're really stupid if you really think about this bill. You really think it's a good thing? Are you really considering this? Are you people that stupid that you wouldn't want this bill out? That's what they're saying. So if they're scared, you know. When I run an election, if my challenger starts going dirty against me, you know you're winning. So just take it positive. We do have polling. The polling has been tremendous. So 5 years ago, the polling was probably 50%. It's up to 60 and 65% when we poll. There was an online poll just the other day, not by us, not by any group in favor. They were just thinking, oh man, this thing isn't really that popular. So they put an online poll out. I guess they got 6,000 responses. 75% positive. This thing is for real. And anybody that tells you that this is not for real, they're fooling themselves. You guys wouldn't be here if you didn't think this was real. You want more information, you're getting it. But I'm going to tell you right now, we are not going to put up with this much longer. Right. And I don't see any other way to get organizations like Article 5 Convention of States to get their act together. I don't see any other way to get the other states and give them some confidence to stand up to their elections, which they didn't do. Come on, guys, stand up. We have time. Once we pass this and Texas leads, the whole country, the whole world is going to go, oh my goodness, those Texans are at it again. All right, so who's next? Well, you already answered.
No, I didn't.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
What else can we do in the state of Texas to eliminate the stranglehold the federal government put on us and every other state in the union?
I don't know, you got some ideas? No. Nothing's worked so far. Nothing has worked so far. And you can elect how many more representatives and it ain't gonna change. President Trump, the most powerful person in the whole government, tried to change it and they crucified him. You're not going to elect a few people and it's going to change. It's going to take these people and somebody to stand up and say, we're not taking anymore and we're going to leave if this doesn't get fixed.
Hey Todd, just real quick on that though. California has moved to decentralization, so they just ignore what they don't like out of the federal government. So that is an option, right? Decentralization. And you see regionalization, more states starting to come together.
Well, we got to stand up for some stuff. You better. All right, so look at the states right now, and I'm not going to say this is a policy. You got states that went ahead and legalized marijuana. Is that legal from the federal government?
No.
Of course not. The federal government do anything?
No.
So why don't we stand up against the federal government?
You've got the long-term answer.
You're right. We've got
Decentralization is the short-term answer. Stop listening to federal.
And who's going to make that decision?
Us.
No, you're not. Who's going to make the decision? Our governor? Our attorney general? Okay. Go talk to them about it.
10th Amendment.
Don't talk about 10th Amendment, but that's... But you can stand up and say that all you want. We've been saying that for years. It's the people we elected that are in there that are not standing up for the 10th Amendment. And they've given it away for so long. All right, who's ready? Yes, ma'am.
So if this does make it to committee and we go and testify, what should the focus of our testimony be?
Good question. Let us vote. We elected you. Let us vote. Let the people of Texas vote. Yes, ma'am.
Can you briefly explain, like, what the legality of it is? Like, from what I understand, and please correct me or fine tune, but from what I understand is that there's something within the Constitution of Texas, the state Texas Constitution, that does allow something like this to legally happen.
Let me just answer before we go any further. Because you're exactly right. There's so much misinformation. It doesn't matter. The Supreme Court ruling in 1865, who cares? Is the Supreme Court perfect? No. Can you overrule them? Yeah. Is this the same time as 1865? No. After a civil war? That one ruling is so full of holes, we can't wait to get to court. Now, does the Texas Constitution give us some special way that we can lead? No, it doesn't. But it does say that the power is inherent in the people. And if they don't like this government, they can get rid of it. Okay? Same with our U.S. Constitution. But then they're going to say, oh, you conservatives, what about Judge Scalia? Oh, he said, I don't think he can leave. I don't think a state can secede. Well, he's not around here anymore, and I love him. But it doesn't matter what his opinion is. We're going to go to court with this.
It's just an opinion.
Right, so we're going to go to court with this, and all that is what happens in that year and a half. Back there, yes.
This upcoming session, will we be able to testify remotely as well, or will all the testimony have to be in person?
I don't know. We don't even know yet.
Each committee chair needs to decide how they will welcome testimony in their committee.
We presented amendments to increase or maintain transparency, video recording, and attending the meetings, and both amendments got shot down.
But we did get a rule change that will allow more people to get their voices heard. You cannot testify, but you can have your voice heard remotely. Okay? But you're these are things that are going to come up. And I'll tell you right now, if they don't let the people's voice be heard, watch out. Watch out, legislature. Yes?
Now, question, can you elaborate a little bit on what's the game plan and what's the next steps after this bill goes past?
Well, I just told you, we're going to form a committee. And in the bill, we go review everything. Currency, Social Security, pension, border, all that stuff. And we look at rewriting our Texas Constitution. We were asked that question earlier. You know what? So I'm running for office. And I ran against a lawyer. Nothing against lawyers. They're no good, but no. We have too many of them. Too many in the legislature. No, just a lawyer job. So I'm running against a lawyer. And he goes, the questions this guy planted questions. It was one of those things where he was able to plant the questions so we had the answers and I didn't know what was going on. So the question was, oh, do you love the Texas Constitution? Or what do you think about the Texas Constitution? I said, it's way too long. What was it, 170, is this thick? 174 pages, whatever it is, changes all the time. I said, it's just too thick. Nobody even knows what's in it. And he comes back, you don't love Texas! So now I don't love Texas, I don't love America, but I don't love Texas either. And crazy. So the next debate, I knew he was going to bring it up again, because we're going to a different town. So I got a copy of the Texas Constitution, this thick, and a copy of the U.S. Constitution. Yeah, that's thick. And I set them underneath the podium up front where we were going to, answer questions. And so the mediator didn't know that he was going to get, that he was going to have to ask a question. I was ready for it. So the mediator asked the question. And I took that big, fat Texas Constitution and I threw it on his desk on the moderator who asked the question. What do you think? Here's Texas, here's the United States. What do you think? Is it too long? And I just shut him up. I tell you, you just can't play games with these people. And we're playing games too long way too long with our lives, our fortunes, our grandchildren, our children. And it just can't keep going like this, people.
Every time Biden has a pen stroke, it takes one more dollar of my taxpayer dollars and sends it somewhere that I don't approve of. Oh, amen. I say, why are we sending our dollars to Washington? If all Texans' taxpayer dollars, instead of going to Washington, ended up going to Austin, we might start seeing a lot of changes.
That ain't gonna happen until we do TEXIT. I'm sorry. Washington needs our money. We're the piggy bank. And we're gonna bail out New York, we're gonna bail out California, we're gonna bail out New Jersey. That's what's happening. Without TEXIT, we will never, ever, ever keep our money to take care of our citizens here in Texas. That's why this is so important to start the process now. If we don't get it through the session this time, when do we meet again? 2 more years. And we have to start again. Yes.
So some of us are probably ready to go down to Austin right now and talk to our representatives and senators. The question is, with everything going on right now, what can we expect when we go down to Austin? Any advice on, can we even meet with our representatives?
Okay, anybody here go to Austin often to go see their representatives? And whoever is, just stand up and tell them how it looks and what happens when you get there.
Yeah, it's COVID. It don't work.
No, not even with COVID. I mean, COVID is another excuse. What happens regularly when you go to Austin? Anybody go to Austin? Answer his question on what it's like to try to see your representative in Austin.
And you can't do it. You just get some secretary.
I'm sorry, you come to my office, I'll come and see you. I mean, I don't care, I have nothing to hide. I'm not better than you, okay? I would recommend you call them, I would recommend you email them, and then I would find out any way you can to get a hold of them. And if you go to their office, go to their office, but there's nothing worse than going all the way to Austin, trying to find a place to park, go to your representative's office, and they won't see you, and you talk to some 20-year-old kid who doesn't know what the hell is going on, and then you think, oh, I did my job. They're not even going to tell they're not even going to tell the rep what happened.
Get some candy though.
Oh no, it's going to go in the CMS system.
In a month.
So we have a little system. Oh, John Doe came in and he said this and this, so it's in the system. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's the truth. It's the truth. That's why we have to work really hard. We've got to work really hard. And we've got to be steadfast. And we've got to be positive. And we've got to have faith. And we have to have a vision for the future. It's not going to happen just because we think it's a good idea. And you've got to convince your neighbors. You got to write letters. Okay? To the newspapers. To whatever you can. Get on social media. Hey man, this is for real. Tell them, hey, this is for real. I love America, but America's left us. And Texas needs to lead to either fix this or we're going to take care of our own people. Yes.
So when we talk to our neighbors about the referendum, they're going to say, well, what's the pros, what's the cons?
Okay, there it is
How do
right
we
there.
educate ourselves in order to say, don't worry about your Social Security? You know, those type of questions are going to come up.
They're on my website. I got all those questions on my website. They're all answered. If you move to Mexico, do you get your Social Security that you earned? Yes, you do. You move to Europe? Yes, you do. Okay, all that's going to be negotiations with the federal government. They want to play hardball? All right, we ain't giving you any oil. Okay? You know, whatever it is. We've got resources. We own 95% of our land. No other state has that. We are in a good financial position. We have so much going for us here in Texas. Okay? So, but those answers most answers to questions are on my website.
Question over here.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just curious, what would you do for the eventuality that the United States government sees this as insurrection?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, like I said, and don't worry about those things. We're going to do this in a peaceful way. We're going to have communication, dialogue. We're going to do it the right way. And if they try to stop us, I think we got a whole bunch of ways to protect ourselves, guys, okay? I just don't know how to answer the question, man. I'm just saying that why would the United States want to attack Texas? They need us. Even if we're not part of the union, they need us. We have resources. We have 40-something% of all the energy right here in Texas. Even green energy. We have it right here in Texas.
We also have our own power grid.
We have our own power grid. But, I'm just saying, that's the questions. I sat in a representative's office 2 weeks ago, and all he could say is, oh, that's so stupid. The federal government's going to attack us. They're going to attack us. Are you kidding me?
I know.
What are they going to attack us for? Because the people voted? They're going to attack the people that voted that they want to be on their own? And we came up with a plan, we communicated for all these years, and then we voted again, and you're going to attack us? I mean, come on, people, we got to get real. This is not, that's not how things work right now. And remember, since World War II, 140 countries left whatever they were associated with before. 140. And I don't remember any wars really there. And none of them were the 9th largest economy in the world. And they made it. They weren't the 9th largest economy and they made it. And people think we can't make it. I mean, it's just absurd. But that's all part of education. It's all part of getting your mind around, wow, let me really think about this, because this is a huge idea. I mean, this is just, man, my mind just can't get around this, but let me think about it tomorrow, maybe by next week, or maybe 2 weeks from now, whatever. Start thinking, talking. I didn't understand it my first day. I had to read about it. There's books out there. There's a book called TEXIT. It's a great book. There it is. It says TEXIT. Go online, go on Amazon, or whatever, or whoever's not bad, and get the damn book. You can read it, all the questions, everything you ever want to know is in it.
What is that?
TEXIT.
What is that?
Brexit.
Brexit.
Texas exit. This process is virtually the same as Brexit. It just happened in England. They went through the whole process. It was all peaceful. I didn't see the European Union coming out and attacking England. So, all right, who's next? I'm sorry, you're next.
Shift gears a minute. You keep talking about the federal government as it is today, but they're at this moment talking about transitioning to the Great Reset. Now, if you want something to really spark people on, let them know what's coming.
We already know what's coming.
Well, we don't know. We
know it's bad. What else do you need to know?
Transitioning us to a socialist form of government.
Start today with Texas. We can't wait. There's no way to get it quicker. Today is the quickest you can do it. Let's get this bill passed because we know how bad the federal government is and how much worse they're going to be.
Talk about that. We got worse things coming than we got today.
So what do you want to do different? What should we do different?
Plan for it, prepare for it, do what you're saying. Prepare it.
Yes, Texas.
That's what we need to do.
Thank you, Texas. That's what we got to do. Exactly. Because we know how bad it is.
We got much worse coming.
Amen, sir. Amen.
So, while in Washington, Trump is voter rights. Do you think that's something that we need to consider here in Texas that we need to focus on?
Well, I don't want any dead people voting. I don't want people from other states voting. I don't want people that were never registered voting. I don't want a whole lot of people that are voting that are not supposed to be voting because you don't know who the hell they are and you don't know what their signature is and they just got mailed a ballot or somebody picked it up and harvested it for them. You better believe it. We want that. Yes.
The gentleman is right. Listen for a second. If we have the vote and we vote for it, that's when you're going to get leverage. That's when you're going to be able to stand up and speak. And other people around this country are going to listen because we're Texas. Right?
I'm a Texan now. I was a Floridian. Thank you, Ron DeSantis. And I am
founder of DFW Against Vision North Texas, AKA Agenda 2030-2050.
Amen.
So my question to you is this, sir. What do I need to do to help you? Do I need to go door to door to my neighbors in Hamden, Texas?
We
What do I need
can't,
to do?
hold on. Going door to door is not going to help right now if we don't get the legislature to pass the bill so they allow you to go door to door and allow you to have a vote. That's first step. Second step, if they allow us and when they allow us, the next step is a huge campaign door to door until November to get this passed. That's the steps. The guy behind you first. Yes, I just want to agree with you. The problem is not just the federal government. It's almost every single state government we have. How many stood up to the law not being followed in their own state for elections? So we've got huge problems, and Austin is part of it. Call your legislator, call your senator, call the speaker, call the lieutenant governor, call the governor, and tell them that you want them to sign on and promote this bill. Yes, ma'am.
How does the current HR 1 bill affect our future with Texas? If HR 1 were to pass?
You're talking about the one in the federal government?
Yeah.
The one that's all about elections?
Yeah.
Of course. What did you expect? Okay, what did you expect? They tried to do it last time. They had the same bill 4 years ago, and it didn't pass. They put the same exact bill out again, and they still cheated even though they didn't get HR 1. They don't need HR 1 to cheat, but if they get HR 1, it's going to be even worse for us. Yes?
Yeah, when we have a perfect constitution in this country that's not being honored by people that took an oath to it, you're talking about rewriting the Texas Constitution to create a good constitution. How are we going to say that the people in Austin and the judges that took an oath to it, that they're not honoring the oath that we have in Texas currently or the federal Constitution? So how's it going to be any different? We got to get rid of the corrupt judges that
We will start a whole new government here in Texas, and that'll be part of it. Okay, that's all I can tell you. Okay, you'll read the bill. It has to be changed. Well, I'll take it on two more questions if someone hadn't asked one
law and the Constitution.
Have you asked one yet? Okay.
So my question is about strategy. Have you considered going to the state Republican, the county Republican Party statewide to get them to pass resolutions urging our governor and legislatures to make this a top legislative priority this session?
That's a great idea. Why don't you take care of that for us? That would be awesome. Thank you. One more question. Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned the book Texan. Are you collaborating with the Texas Nationalist Movement and Daniel Millen?
No, we're just working together. There's a whole bunch of different groups, But the point is, we need one message. We need no egos. It doesn't matter who gets any credit for this. This is all about you. It's all about the people of Texas wanting to save our great state for our children, grandchildren, and for ourselves, because we just can't take it anymore. That's what it's about, not about any egos. God bless you all. Thank you very much.